Sof Sole Mink Oil is a blend of oils and fats intended to help condition and waterproof leather. It's been around for a while and has some really great characteristics. So we're going to look at the company behind it, the product itself and what's in it, and then an example of applying it so you could see exactly if it may be helpful for what you're trying to do. So with that, let's dive right in. Sof Sole started in 1991 as an athletic footwear accessories company. They are owned by Implus, a sports accessory wholesaler founded in 1988 in Durham, North Carolina. The Sof Sole Mink Oil product itself claims to waterproof, preserve, and condition leather. It comes in this tin, it's around 3.5 ounces, and it's got this pretty cool feature that says over here, press here to open. And I was like, huh. So you do that, and you can see it kind of pops up a little bit, which is nice because some of these containers can be tricky to open. And here, all you have to do is that, and then boop, you're ready to go. So that's a cool little feature. So now, looking at the ingredients, that's really important because whatever we're putting in our leather is likely going to stay in our leather. So here we have a couple. One is bleached tallow, which is around 55 to 85% of the composition, and that is just fat. We also have glycerol monoleate, which is around 5 to 15%, and that's fat that helps things from sticking together. We have mink oil, that's around 5 to 15%. And then we have glycerol esters, which are around 5 to 15%. And those are essentially fatty acids that are oil soluble and able to help keep oils in suspension. So part of that all works to help, once we apply this, those conditioners and oils to get into the fibers and then stay there. So let's check out what it's like to apply this and see the end result. So what we'll do is we'll put down our trusty desk cover, and we've got 2 samples here, similar material, and so the idea is we're going to treat this one and then compare it to this one. So put that one down there to treat. Let's read the instructions. Test a small inconspicuous area for color fastness. All right, cool. Then apply Sof Sole Mink Oil with a clean cloth and work well into the leather, particularly around the seams and stitching. Allow a few minutes for absorption and then wipe off excess. It may darken certain leathers and helps prevent salt stains. All right, cool. So what I'll typically use is a cotton cloth like this. It's basically a lint-free cloth. That way it's not going to abrade or otherwise impact your leather. And so what we'll do is we'll pop this open. And here is what the product looks like. So it's kind of like a pastish kind of texture. You can see here, I'll kind of rub it around a little bit. Not going too hard, but you can see the cloth picks it up a little, and you can see how it's been moved around in there. So it's not super dense, which is nice. So what I'll do is I'll kind of go around a little circle. I don't want to pick up too much on the cloth. And then we'll go to our sample here and we'll kind of apply it gently. We don't want to push too hard because anytime we're initially applying it, there's going to be a lot of buildup in that area. And we don't want to have like a whole lot all in one spot. So I'll just kind of start light and then work in a little deeper. And then I'll come over here, get a little more on our cloth, and just continue until we get that surface covered nicely. Do that again here. You can see as it's going on, it's got a little bit of a waxy shine to it. Or like a bit of a shine. And so what I'll do is just a little more, and then make sure it's coated evenly throughout. I'll just kind of do like a big overall pass here. There we go. So now we have our sample coated really well. And you can see when we compare our coated version to our uncoated version, there's going to be a big color difference. Now, certainly at first, anytime you condition leather, it's going to be darker. So what does it look like once it's dry? Good thing I have a sample here, and here we go. So this has been dry around 24 hours. And so here we've got our 3 samples. We have untreated on the left, just applied in the center. And then this is what it looks like after 24 hours plus of drying. So if we look at the before and after, it's going to be a little bit darker, but not significantly darker, which is really nice because sometimes we want a little darkening, sometimes we don't. This is going to be a good option that doesn't have too much of an impact, at least on this sample. Your leather may be different, so that's always why they recommend testing in an area before doing it across the whole piece. So now let's check out one more facet of this magic, is the waterproofing. Now it's supposed to sit for a few minutes, and we've had it sitting for just a couple. So ideally, we're letting it sit for longer, and then even ideally further, we're going to want to maybe put a few coats on it. But absent of that, let's give it the raw test right now and see how it's going to look. So to do that, I have another sample here that I use for showing water penetration. And then here is some water and a eyedropper. So what we're going to do is I'll show you first what an untreated leather looks like when we drop water onto it. And you can see it darkening it very quickly, getting absorbed like right in there. So that's what the untreated leather looks like. So now let's take our sample with the soft sole that we just applied, knowing a few caveats. 1, it is not dried for more than just a couple short minutes. And 2, we've only had 1 application. So if I'm going to guess, this is not going to be the full resilience and capability of its water resistance or waterproofing. However, it should give us a little something different than we had seen just a moment ago in the untreated surface. So let's check it out. Oh, the test is on. Wow, look at that. Dripping right down, right off. That's cool. And again, it's only been dry for just a couple minutes, and even look right here, like there's really no water collection at all. And if we come back here to our uncoated, just absorbs that water left and right. And then if we come right over here to our soft sole waterproofer, it literally just runs right off. Now I'm gonna have to clean the table, but that's all right, because this is really cool to see. So great result, especially since it hasn't been dried and we haven't put a lot more on. So your mileage may vary, but looking at the end result of the lighter color, knowing that it can provide that kind of water protection is really cool. And when we look at the ingredients, most of it's gonna be, fats and fatty acids. So nothing seems to be like too terrible in it, which is really good too. So overall, it seems like it's easy to apply, and it provides the water resistance that it claims to do, and it also dries relatively light, compared to some other conditioners as well. So all in all, if you're looking for a product that waterproofs, preserves, and conditions all in one, and you're comfortable with the ingredients that it has, this seems like it can be a really great option and worth checking out. So if you have any questions, let us know. And if you've used this or other types of waterproofers and have insights to share, definitely help us all learn together. And there you have it. Until next time.